Good morning, I'm Kathleen Pate and this is my Alabama Farm Life. And today I'm going to be making some jelly. I also want to go ahead and show off one of my t-shirts. I have a whole collection, but today I'm wearing North and South Homestead t-shirt. Kim has a great channel. You guys want to go check her out. We were blessed with almost 2 gallons of red and green muscadines. I'm going to start off with the red ones first. I've placed the grapes in my saucepan and I'm going to add water to cover. I'm going to turn the heat onto medium and I'm going to start mashing the grapes as they heat up. I do not want to bring this mixture to a boil, but I want it to be done enough to where I see all the seeds float to the top. I'm also looking for that rich red color from the fruit. I made my first strain through a colander. I love the color of this juice, and I ended up on my first strain with a little over 4 cups. I went ahead and put aside the first 4 cups and I put the rest back into the fruit. My second strain is going to be through cheesecloth. I want to get as much of the liquid out as possible. Now, for anybody who doesn't know me, I am always in a hurry. So I'm going to go ahead and do this as quickly as possible. I'm going to put the grape mixture into the cheesecloth. It's still really hot. Too hot for me really to use my hands to squeeze this, so I'm going to grab a masher to help this process along. I was surprised to get as much juice as I did. I wound up with 6 cups of the purple muscadine juice. This is going to make a bunch of jelly. I saw this trick on several videos on YouTube. This is to help keep the Sure-Jell from clumping once it's introduced to the juice. So I'm going to use 1 cup of sugar, 1 package of Sure-Jell, and I'm going to mix it thoroughly before I put it in my pot. I've turned my burner to medium heat. I'm going to add a little bit of juice to this mixture and stir it up real well to make sure it's all incorporated. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour in the rest of the juice. As the jelly reaches its boiling point, I'm going to stir continuously to keep it from scorching. You want a rolling boil for 1 minute, and then we can start adding the sugar. I decided to use equal parts of sugar to juice, so I'm going to use 6 cups of juice with 6 cups of sugar. I've already used 1 cup to mix the Sure-Jell in, so I'm adding 5 more cups of sugar to this mixture. I turned up the heat just a little bit to get it to a rolling boil until I got it to the texture I wanted. I did a 10-minute water bath and ended up with 4.5 pints of jelly. It is absolutely beautiful and tastes divine. I processed my golden muscadines the same way. There was more of them, so it took up more space in the pot, which is fine. I put the grapes on a medium heat to get it to boil, and I pulled out my masher so that I can start those grapes to bursting and releasing their juice. I have the temperature just hot enough so that the fruit doesn't boil, but hot enough so that the fruit will burst and that the seeds will be released. Once the seeds start coming out, I know that it's ready to go. I pressed out about 8 cups of juice with this batch. Again, I start off with 1 cup of sugar and a package of Sure Gel mixed well and thrown in the pan. I add a little bit of juice and stir to make sure that it's mixed real well. I have my heat set to medium to start to cook, and then I add the rest of the juice. I want to bring this to a boil. Then you want to let it do a rolling boil for 1 minute for the Sure Gel to set. And then I'm going to start adding the sugar. I had 8 cups of juice, so I'm going to add 7 cups of sugar. That'll be 8 total. I'm going to bring this to a rolling boil. I'm going to let it boil for at least 1 minute. Once it reaches the texture that I want, I'm going to go ahead and jar it up. We were able to get almost 6 pints out of this batch, but I put one in the refrigerator to eat later, and I water bathed 5. I did this for 10 minutes, and then we're done. The golden muscadine jelly isn't as firm as the red muscadine jelly, but they both taste absolutely delicious. The red variety has a little bit of a stronger flavor, while the golden is more mellow, but they both taste delicious. I think with the golden one, I either should have added a little bit more sugar or maybe a little bit more of the pectin so that it would firm up a little bit more, or I could have just cooked it down a little bit longer. But otherwise, it's still gelled, it's still good, and it came out fairly well. This is not my first time making muscadine jelly. I made it several years ago when I lived in Florida and had my own vines there. And I am looking forward to picking my own grapes next year off my vines in my vineyard. But I'm very blessed to have had the generous gift that I was given this year. I want to thank everybody for coming and supporting my channel. You guys do not know how much it means to me. So you guys have a great day.